I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So there's a brand new OTA patch up this week. There are 2 buffs, 2 nerfs, and there are 3 additional secret buffs this time around, or secret nerfs, depending on how you view it. So we're going to talk over the ones that happened this week. Also, there's going to be a slight change to how OTAs are coming out. So let's talk about the 4 that happened this week. First one up on our list is going to be Black Bolt. Now, all these are live as of the recording of this at this point. Black Bolt has gone from a 5.8 to a 5.7. It has just knocked off one single point from that power that it had going for it. And personally, I'm not happy about this. I understand why they did it. Because Black Bolt STATURE was becoming a real issue. But the problem with it is if you take away this one power from Black Bolt, I'm not sure if Black Bolt's gonna see any play. And we're gonna just drop into fives for a second here. We look at fives by how much power they got. It's basically the same point as Gamora. And Gamora has a lot more upset than Black Bolt does. I mean, yes, if Gamora missed her, you're not getting anything else off it. But you're on the same level as Gamora is. And this discards the cards from your opponent. So, it's about where it should be, but the problem is this is the lowest card in their hand, not the highest card in their hand, or a random card in their hand, but just the lowest card in their hand. So, you're not really getting a lot out of discarding the lowest card in most players' hands unless it's in a very weird situation. I've had a couple times where this does catch my death, which isn't the happiest thing at all, but other than that, it just seems like this card needs a revamp completely. That it should either do the highest card or it should just maybe do a random card. That way we'll see it more play from being a discard card. The thing is that second generation says that they kind of don't want this to happen, and I get why. Having a card in your hand just be plucked out of there is not good as a player. But on the other hand, there's gotta be some times where you have disruption like that as long as it's done carefully. And there are other cards that can do this. Midnight does the same exact thing. Except on Midnight you discard one of your own. All in all, I just don't like how second gen are trying to basically treat a good hunk of their metahumans. I really don't. They all feel like they want them to exist, but they also don't want them to exist at the same time. Next up for us is going to be the other half of this, which is also a 5-drop here. Which is the STATURE, which is the other half of this. And when the two of them combined, they kind of made this unfriendly little combo of doing Black Bolt STATURE, one right after the other. But if we switch this to power instead, look at where STATURE is, she falls kind of rather low on that power scale. Alright, there we go. Here's where STATURE is. A little bit above Nimrod. A little bit below even Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel gets a lot more use out of her. Yes, there is possibility of STATURE becoming a 1-drop. But as we stated before, unless they put somewhere in the future one more enabler for STATURE, the only 2 cards that enable her are Black Bolt and Moon Knight. So, 2 cards that basically can make this for free. Unless your opponent's playing discard themselves, and then you get that bonus on there. But you shouldn't be needing to require on your opponent discarding a card. You know, I guess you could say it's kind of like in the same Miles Morales status. And if you wanted that to be kind of in the same thing as Miles Morales Spider-Man, you could just say for 1 turn. That's how Miles Morales kind of works with the Miles Morales Spider-Man. But, you know, let's just look at the new synergy here. Look at Miles Morales Spider-Man. 4 or 5. That can also turn into a 1. Only hold it for a turn as opposed to the 5-7 cell. So maybe a 5-6 would technically be correct, but that feels really weird. Why is such a weird, such powerful for you? Because 5 is the turn that you want to start slamming down your big stuff. You know, there are other things on 5, like, let's look at 5 for just a second here, and we'll kick off the move again. I mean, you're looking at your Doc Ock, your Abominations, your Arrows. Your Arrow even falls above that. I mean, Arrow may be the exception to this rule. But you're even looking at Nick Fury, so if you can't get a discounter, you're basically playing a Nick Fury or Vision for the same price as her. Nick Fury and Vision are actually 1 spot better than she is. If you can't get her discount, you really have to get the discount. Now, if they had one more chance of that, especially if it's a cheap enabler, then yeah. I don't know what you put as a cheap enabler. Let's look at the discards here. And the Moon Knight is already a cheap enabler. You know, how would you get any cheaper than that? That's already 3. Bring it down to 2 and give it the same thing as how it works, but do 2 and 1. Discard 2 cards from your hand and discard 1 from your opponent's hand. And make it a 2-2 or something like that. Or 2-1. Ugh. There's certain discard decks that would run that though. Okay, next up for us is probably not. Oh, first time yet. So good one right up that order. And it's Negasonic Teenage Warrior. Negasonic Teenage Warrior has gone from a 3-4 to a 3-5. isn't really gonna do much for Negasonic Teenage Warrior because she basically is 0 power a good hunk of the time. You're basically putting her down as a destroy card. Almost to the point where I would be willing to see her be pushed up to like a 3-6, maybe even a 3-7, which would be really weird for her. Because if you brought her up to a 3-6, 3-7, I mean, she's already nearing the top of the scale. She's on the same level as Polaris or Deathlock. I mean, like 3-7 might be good. 3-6, put her up to Swordmaster. Swordmaster is the worst thing in the world to get. 3-7 and put her into a maximum status. But you're losing all those powers unless you can find some way of getting rid of her. Problem is, if you put her up to 3-7, there gets to be a point at which you're going to be starting to play like zeros on her just to play her down for pure stat value and not have her blow up. So maybe like give her something where she gets +2 power or +3 power when while she's alive. So, +3 power while alive. Which would be, you could bring her back to a 4 at that point. And give her the attacks of +3 power while alive. Wow. Which would just make it so that, like, she would have a high power, like, she'd be a 3-7. But then you can zero her, because then she dropped back down to a 3-3. So the only way that you can really get that power out of her would be to either armor her or Professor Extra, which would be kind of an interesting way to play her down at that point. And if you're putting that much effort into a deck, that's an interesting way to put that much effort into a deck. And last up for us is an Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman got changed from a 2-2 to a 2-3. If we just look at all the 2s here, she's still running heavy in the pack. Considering she's supposed to be somewhere around where I would put a Daredevil with her functionality, she's doing pretty well. I mean, you're up to Maria Hill stats now. And Maria Hill is just played purely for the stats and get some better off her. She's better off than Baron Mordo. You're basically at the same level as Domino Colossus, so I still don't think this is going to make her no be all, because there's very few things that you want to hide behind her, but you still want her sometimes when she can take a hit from a Cosmo or an Enchantress. Mostly for the Enchantress. This is basically an Enchantress shield. Because anything that's behind her that's ongoing, if Enchantress is played, the Enchantress will turn off her, but will leave the rest of the ongoing on. So, I mean, it's still have her functionality, but other than that, I'm not sure where she'll ever see play, because she's one of the lowest play cards. On to the location information. So for the location information, we're going to do a little bit of a flippy flop here. Flippy flop. Or maybe not. If everything doesn't want to work. Let's do this real quick. So, there's 3 new locations that are going to be basically, or 3 locations that are going to be pulled from the game. 2, 1 old, one I'm saying is kind of mid, and one that's relatively new, so I'm really shocked that it's getting the axe. So if you haven't seen this, if you haven't known about this, these are the 3 locations that are being temporarily removed. Better. So it's Plunder's Castle, Sandbar, and Milano. And personally, they're talking about closing out locations, locking up locations that can't be played in any way, shape, or form. And if that's what you're looking for, if that's the mode that you want to go with, I would recommend one other one be added to this above any other ones, which would be Sanctum Sanctorum. Sanctum Sanctorum is the worst location to get showing up on anything. So Sanctum Sanctorum basically says you're not playing in this location, and there's really nothing you can do about it. No card can be played there. I get why it exists for movement decks. So don't get me wrong, I get why it's there. But if you're talking about locations that people don't like to play, and that don't give the opportunity to really play in them, Sanctum Sanctorum's top on the list. I'd rather have Milano than Sanctum Sanctorum. At least Milano you can play off of. But I wanted to try, since Second Dinner is going to take these locations back and put them into the cooler or baker oven, I should say, and bring them back out. I wanted to try to think of different things that they could do with each one of these locations. So, I'm going from the newest one, which is the Milano. The way that the Milano was, at least in my opinion, was supposed to work with Guardians of the Galaxy. That you have a spot where you basically were guaranteed that somebody was going to play on there, and if they didn't, you basically got the bonus of nobody being able to play on it. If they did play on it, you got the bonus of having the Guardians of the Galaxy basically connect them. The same way that kind of Avengers Compound works, where on turn 5 everybody has to play there. You put in the Guardians of the Galaxy, you can put it there, but then you get to total more turns before you can put down Spider-Man or something like that. And if you were to change the Milano to work that way, I think it'd be kind of neat, kind of interesting. If you made it some way where if you played a Guardian card on the Milano, it would just trigger even if there's no opponent on the opposite side. So all the Guardians of the Galaxy cards would trigger her. You know, you would get your Groot and you get your Star-Lord. Because all the Guardians of the Galaxy cards need a little bit more love. Having a location that worked with that, because if I'm looking at all the cards that are on reveal, all the ones that are on reveal basically don't need a trigger to hit them. None of the other ones can fail. Every other card out there just happens. The only ones that might fail would be like Mystique, who has an ability to fail. Rogue, who has an ability to fail. And Silver Surfer technically has an ability to fail. Jubilee technically has an ability to fail. So does Hawkeye. But even if you let it so that Hawkeye triggered there, no matter what, would be kind of interesting. You know, you could add stuff like Hawkeye working there. Secret couldn't do it because there would be nothing for her to trigger off of. More fails, there's nothing that you can do about that one. Hawkeye could be interesting. Drug Destroyer, nothing you can do. Jubilee, nothing you can do about it. Forge could even be interesting. But there's nothing you can do about it. It has no card to target, but then your hand's empty. Anybody else require that kind of anything weird? Get an extra card from Kibble. Yeah, but Kibble doesn't require a trigger, so I'm looking to see if there's anything else that would matter. Other than those couple, very few cards, I'm not seeing a lot. Rescue could trigger by herself, that'd be an interesting one to do. Maybe Medusa, to let Medusa trigger by herself without having to be in the middle, or Quake. That could be interesting if you let all those cards in there. So maybe something where it's like triggered effects work here. Triggered effects always work here, or something like that. If possible. I mean, there's still going to be certain ones that you're not going to be able to do, but having Medusa have one spot where she could play on the right or the left and not have a bay in the middle could be interesting. Having Quake have a spot where she could play and flip everything around, that seems like an interesting one to do. I mean, I don't think a lot of that's the worst thing in the world to do. And then all the Guardians of the Galaxy could work there and anybody could play on it. Wouldn't be the worst location. But then you don't have to worry about something being there for the Guardians trigger. Next one up for us is the Sandbar. Sandbar was kind of a way to get neutrals to work, because neutrals don't see a lot of play in the game. Especially now with like High Evolution coming out here, it's going to be even harder to get in, convince anybody to play in neutral. So if you wanted to do a neutral and kind of have a Patriot payoff, you could kind of make the Sandbar a place where abilities are negated, so that it kind of works like a zero, just like a zero location. So that everything that you play on there is basically zeroed as soon as it's played. That way it's kind of interesting to play with. Doesn't really hurt your deck too much if you can play around it, but you can still play stuff into it. The only problem with that one is then you can Rhino it. Or, you know, but then that would like Quake moving around, I don't know, maybe that would Legion see some play. So you play on a different card and when Legion comes out and then it's in Sandbar. It'd be kind of interesting because there's not too many cards that have abilities that you want negated. And it would let you play neutrals there, or have not care that your neutrals are getting played in that location. And if you're playing a Patriot, it would kind of help you out, as everything that gets played in that gets the Patriot buff to it. Except if you put Patriot down, of course. The next one here, the last one here, is Plunder's Castle. And the whole idea of Plunder's Castle is to let 6-drop see some play. The problem with 6-drop seeing play is nothing else can actually be played there except the 6-drop. And you kind of want to promote the 6-drop seeing that play, so that more people might play a 6-drop here or there in hopes to get Plunder's Castle and really take advantage of it. And the only thing that I can think of which would give 6-drops a real advantage of playing here without making it so oppressive that nobody else would play here, is to give like 6-drops get +2 power on this location. That would let you want to play 6-drops there, but not force 6-drops there. And there's another card in there in the location for cycling cards move here, they get +2 power. So giving Plunder's Castle +2 power on the card if the 6-drop is the worst thing in the world. It'd be just a one-sided effect for 6-drops, so that way it falls away from just, get +2 power, +3 power. That way you can play with Plunder's Castle. But, Plunder's Castle is one that was like, yeah, even just being able to just play a 6-drop there, if you played your 6-drop there, you could take your 6-drop uncontested sometimes if they didn't have a 6-drop. But problem with this is it didn't take in cost reduction. If Plunder's Castle took in cost reduction, that might make it better, because there's a lot of times where you could play something here that's a 6-drop on turn 5. You couldn't play it here because it had to cost 6. So it's not just on turn 6 you could play here. It had to be a 6 cost. So if it got cost reducted in any way, shape, or form, you didn't get advantage of the Plunder's Castle. And you kind of want to reduce your 6 costs as much as you can. So maybe if you just had it so that cards that originally cost 6 could be played here, so that even if it gets cost reducted, it can still be played here as long as it started out as a 6. That's not a bad location rule. It's kind of like a weird miniature lab. But I kind of like the idea of just 6 cost cards, get +2 energy. It'd be a little pop of a boost for 6 costs. Push them up a little bit more. Help them contest, and if your opponent's not playing this stuff, you get that advantage. These are just some quick ideas that I had on there that I just sketched up as soon as I found out about these going back into the baker. There's a few other ones I'd like them to temporarily remove and look at. I'd like them to go through once a month and do a location removal. Just look at the location that's the lowest played and remove it. And take it back into the baker, or take a location that's maybe the highest played and look at it and see why it's so highly played. But there's a lot of ones that everybody likes. Everybody likes just because they're simple. So maybe just go through every month, look at the worst location that you have. Maybe take a poll every month of what everybody thinks the worst location is, and then look at it and see, how can we adjust it? And then when the locations that are coming out in the future, try not to make these same mistakes. There's some ones that are coming up in the near future that are going to have these same mistakes where you can't play in them basically, period, unless you need a very specific situation. So I hope they use some of this information that they're getting from these to make locations better in the future. Or maybe it's time to start doing location slots. And basically have, like, a slot can be a disruption slot. But if you get a disruption slot, the other two can't be disruption slots. And have all these considered disruption spots. Because these are basically disruption spots where you can't play on here. So you can add stuff like Miniature Labs, Sanctum Sanctorum, maybe Dream Dimension. So that way you're only getting one per game. That's something that, but I'm not sure how you do that with coding, but maybe they need to look at that in the future. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play all on